Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Audio Whoop-Ass Podcast.
Haha, what is up, everybody?
Podcast. Talking about bullshit and other things.
In today's podcast, we're just going to talk about the time that I was petrified, and the time I was scared, and the time I almost drowned. Well, you're thinking, what, your boy can't swim? Yeah, your boy can swim, son. It's the fact that I was swimming in this river in a town called Spring Valley, California. Not the Southern California town, but the Northern California town. There's two different towns. There's one in Northern California and one in Southern California. So, here's what happened. We're sitting here jumping off this, I think it was like a rock or like a tree that went over the little river. And I believe everything in life happens for a reason. And here at the Audio Whoop-Ass Podcast, yeah, you might laugh at the name, but we tell it like it is. If you have trauma, it's gonna be because of something terrible that happened in your life. Mine was almost drowning two times. My brother had the same once, and my friend's brother had the same once. The first indication was we were at this place called Poudre Creek in Northern California, way up in Northern California, where in the boondocks. Nobody knows where it is. It's in the boonies. So you go, where is that? I never heard of it. No. Shut your ass up. You never heard of it because it's in the middle of nowhere, dummy. But it's in a spot like in Middletown, California. Again, you never heard of it because it's in a small middle of nowhere town, right? So my brother one time, he's 4 years older than me. So I was like 8, he was 12, and he swims across to the other side. I think there was like a sandbar that he was over at, and my dad used to take us there all the time in the summertime and let us go swimming because it was a cool spot. It wasn't a place people went boating, but it was a place that people brought their kids. They might have a little drinky drink and just go down there for the day and go swimming, right? I think that's a cool ass thing to do. You don't really have that here in Florida, to go down to a little stream, the river, and go do that. So my dad took us down there. My brother swam across to the other side. And because I was like, oh, my brother did it, I want to do it too. So my 3'5" ass, or whatever I was at the time, I swam across or tried to walk across, and I got to a point where I was in the middle, and I stopped, and I went, swoop, right down, and the water sucked me under because my feet where I was standing wasn't there anymore. I was able to stand for a certain portion, and then I was like, hey, brother, whew, right under the water. I was bobbing, and my brother came out and saved me. I don't remember if my brother remembers this or not, but he ended up saving me from drowning because I was trying to go to the spot he was because I thought it was cool. But again, you try to do cool things like, oh, my brother's cool, my dad's cool, my friend's cool, I'm going to do that because I want to be cool, right? So I remember, I think I was walking across, and I'm walking and I'm touching, and I get to a point where I'm not touching anymore. And when you're walking across at like 8 years old, you're really not thinking that the ground is going to now just go from, let's say, even to where you're walking and drop off like 1.5 feet. So you're just walking, and if you know it's going to drop off like 1.5 feet, you can literally just start swimming. I didn't know it was going to drop off, and I just walk, whoo, right down. My dad didn't notice me right away, but my brother did. And I remember my brother grabbed me and go, yo, you can't be doing that. And I was like, well, I didn't know. And I didn't realize there was going to be a significant drop-off in the ground level. If I would have known that, I probably would have just swam across or not even went over there. But that trauma has caused me a lot of issues with big bodies of water. The same thing in a town called Spring Valley, California. Not the Southern California town, but the Northern California town. And me and my friends and their family went out to this river, and I don't know what the river's called. and the water is very, very cold. I don't know what happened there. We just had some technical difficulty. I'm going to have to get a new cord for this microphone because the microphone cord is loose. So when I get my audio mixer, I'm going to be switching over to this XLR microphone and whatnot. So I could use that, which is a better sounding quality mic than what we're using here today. Because this one is very loose and touchy. But like I was saying, the water is probably like 60 degrees or 50, 60 degrees, whatever like that. And I remember everybody was jumping off this high level tree that was kind of bent over into the water. So I was jumping like, oh, I want to be the cool guy too. And that's what I wanted to be, is the cool kid. And so that's why I proceeded to jump across like they did, but I didn't realize they were jumping further than I did. So when I jumped, I kind of just like a cannonball instead of like just jumping further out. So what happened was I jumped and the water had a rip current and it just went shoop, shoop, shoop. And I was like, oh my God, because I couldn't breathe. I was bobbing up and down, freaking out. And that's like a flash of the moment, like I'm going to die here. The end of my world's coming to a close. My friend's brother, who I didn't get along with, ended up grabbing me because he noticed I was bobbing and weaving trying to get up. And he got me and he put me on the shoreline. He goes, yo, what were you thinking, buddy? And I looked at him and was like, yo, I was trying to do what you guys were doing, jumping across the tree into the water because that looked fun. And he goes, yo, you can't just do what I did. And I was like, well, it looked like you were having fun. He goes, yeah, but you didn't jump far enough. If I didn't notice you or nobody noticed you, you would have probably sat there and drowned and died. And I don't want to sit there and die and drown and end up being a piece of meat. So that type of thing is scary. So I've always had trauma like that. And going to the beach, especially at night, is some of the most scariest things possible. You look out there to the water and all you hear is the waves crashing back and forth, and you're like, I can hear it, but I can't see it. Even when I was on a cruise ship in 2014 going from the Grand Bahama Islands back to West Palm Beach, Florida, I didn't see any water. You could hear it when you were sitting on the top of the deck, drinking your cocktail, looking out, and you could not see nothing. It was so pitch black dark. Like it's like turning all the lights off in your house and staring at the wall. You can't see it. So to this day, I have that trauma of if I can't see the bottom of the water, I'm not going in there to go swimming. If I want to go swimming in like a ocean, like the Atlantic Ocean or something, I'll stay very close to the shoreline where I could touch the ground. It barely goes above my knees because I have that fear that I'll drown. But if I'm in a swimming pool, I'm cool, calm, collected because I can see the ground. I could visually see it, so it's not a scary situation. But if you guys have ever had any dramas like that, let me know, because that's a scary situation, guys, that when you're just sitting there looking out to the water and you're like, I can hear it, but I can't see it. That's scary because Mother Nature is beautiful in the daytime. You got the sun glistening on the water. You see surfers and animals and all sorts of stuff, right? But at night, you can't see diddly shit. And it's petrifying. It's scary. So for me, I stay away from the water at night, especially going to the beach at night. I can go with friends if I'm on the pier, whatnot. But when it gets like 11 o'clock at night and you're on the pier and you can hear the waves crashing and you can't see the water, it's a little nerve-wracking. That's like some Final Destination shit. Haha, it is. But those are two traumas that happened in my life. Almost drowning at like 8 years old and then almost drowning at 12 years old. And you might think, well, you must not be a good swimmer. Oh, I love to swim in a swimming pool. I don't love swimming in big bodies of water like lakes or anything like that either, because like I said, if you can't see the bottom, you don't know how far you're going to be from the ground. I went to the Delaware River and went canoeing with some friends, and I was petrified to be in the middle of this river going for 2 hours. It was one of the most scariest things I've ever did. Like, oh shit, for 2 hours I'm going to be up here rowing? That's scary. But I did it because my friends and her parents wanted me to go. And I was like, cool, I can get in the boat and go with you guys and enjoy the ride. But it was still scary because it's like, if I fall out of this boat, I'm gonna be scared because land is so far that way, and the other land on the other side is so far that way, and I can swim, but when you're in a like rapid water, you're not gonna be able to swim across that because I'm not the best swimmer. I'm not like a professional swimmer, but did I have fun in the Delaware River? Yeah, it was cool. I got to see a bald eagle for the first time. I got to enjoy something I never thought I'd ever do. Would I do it again? Probably absolutely no. Just for the pure fact that the water was so deep that if I would have fell out of that boat, that little canoe thing, I would have be petrified, like I said. And it all comes back to those traumas of me almost drowning when I was a young kid. But remember, guys, some people love boating. Some people hate it. Some people have traumas for playing baseball. Like I was just listening to a Bert Kreischer podcast where he said as a kid, he was petrified to play baseball because he got hit in the face with a baseball and had 24 teeth knocked out of his mouth. Now, that's a petrified situation. It's like, yeah, I don't want to be around a baseball player because I'm afraid that he's going to throw the ball and it's going to shatter my mouth. That's scary. That's terrifying. But again, people have traumas of all types. It doesn't matter if you're famous, non-famous, kid, non-kid, big adult, old person. Everybody has some trauma in their life that scared them to shit. And that's exactly what this swimming incident happened. I can go to my gym right now and jump in the water and go swimming. I have no issue with that. But if you told me, hey, do some laps in the ocean, yeah, right. Oh, swim from Alcatraz back to shore in California. Nope, I will not, because the tide or the rip currents or whatever you want to call it will be a hell of a hard thing to swim with. But I know Nick Diaz, an MMA fighter, has done it. And he's done it like 3 times. But hey, that's a triathlete. That's an MMA fighter. That's a dude that's in hell of a physical condition. I'm in good shape. I'm not in swimmer's condition. Hell nah. You tell me you're going to drop me off in the middle of the Bahamas, go swim from this place to that place. Nope. That's not happening. But you say go jump in that 10-foot pool. I'll swim there all day and have a blast. But I'm not going to swim in no big bodies of water. But hey, that is what I got to talk to you guys today here on the Audio Whoop Ass Podcast. It's your boy Trevor, back with another podcast, baby.